You made it this far. Impressive. Who are you? My name is Azure. His voice was calm and somehow carried a strange sense of familiarity. And you, what is your name? I'm Luna. Luna, a beautiful name. Forgive me for startling you. It's been a long time since I last met someone from the human race. How did you end up in this place? Well, I was just wandering, and suddenly, I found myself in front of this monument. I see. You are Luna. Azure gazed at Luna, as if remembering something very important. Do you live in this forest? When Luna asked, Azure gave a wry smile. Azure will do. Rather than living here, it would be more accurate to say I'm hiding. I'm probably the only one left who can read this inscription. This inscription speaks of an old truth. Luna, will you hear the story of an old man who has lived for many years? And then, Azure began to speak, his voice calm and steady. In his youth, he had been chosen for the map of time as a gifted magician. He was meant to be granted eternal life and embark on a journey through space and time. He was praised as a hero by the people, a young man full of pride. But it was a false ceremony. The truth was, it was a ritual to suppress the rampage of the map of time. By offering one's entire being, including their magical power, as a sacrifice. Azure had witnessed with his own eyes the soul of a so-called hero trapped within the map of time. It was, more precisely, a ritual that did not even permit death. Azure had his magical powers stripped during the ritual, but he managed to escape just before losing his life. At that time, he tore away a fragment of the map of time and fled with it. Since then, he had used the power of that fragment to remain hidden. I can no longer use magic, Azure said quietly. Do you know the legends of this forest? Azure began to tell the history of the Whispering Forest. It was said to be a forest where once the persecuted dragonfolk had hidden themselves. They say whispers of the dragonfolk's descendants can still be heard here, thus the forest's name. This inscription is written in the language of the dragonfolk. The fire orb becomes the earth orb, the water orb becomes the green orb. This is a verse from the creation hymn. The time-guiding dragonfolk existed before this star was even born, perhaps gently guiding the flow of life ever since. That's what was written in the chronicles, before history was rewritten. Azure, just how old are you? Luna couldn't help but interrupt. I have spent centuries in this forest. Azure replied softly. Luna, please listen. I may not have much time left. He continued. The story that the dragonfolk ruled over humans is a convenient fabrication by humans. The dragon folk hated conflict. They were beings who brought harmony to nature, humanity, and time itself. It seems, Luna, that you cannot use magic. It must have been difficult, being different from everyone else. But perhaps that is why the souls of the ancient dragonfolk have led you here. Now, place your hand on the fragment of the map. As Luna touched the fragment of the map of time, a breathtaking vision unfolded before her. It was a scene of dragonfolk and humans living in harmony. Laughter of children, brimming with curiosity, echoed all around. People communicated telepathically and played music within the forest. There were heartfelt conversations that transcended racial boundaries. A deep reverence for life. People giving and receiving joy from one another. Even the scent of a rain-washed forest evoked a nostalgic memory. It was as if she had truly lived in that era, the vision so vivid, so real. That Luna gasped in awe. What a beautiful world! But the next image was a grim one, humans condemning the dragonfolk as evil and attempting to annihilate them. Luna, the map of time has strayed far from its original purpose. The humans are using only the power of the dragonfolk. Moreover, war continues in subtle and invisible ways. And yet, the world has not perished. Perhaps it's because hopes like you still exist in this world. Azure's expression softened even more. He once again offered Luna a fragment of the map of time. Please take this. It carries the will of the dragonfolk. Luna, though hesitant, slowly reached out her hand. In that moment, a radiant light burst forth. The light steadily grew brighter, until finally, it shimmered in Luna's hands and dissolved like a melting glow. Why did it disappear? Azure gave a faint smile. It hasn't disappeared. It now resides within you, Luna. When the time comes, the fragment of the map of time will appear again. Until then, it will sleep within you and guide you. His body slowly began to merge with the trunk of the tree. I shall take a little rest. His body slowly began to merge with the trunk of the tree. Azure. Just as Luna rushed forward, Azure's form faded away into the tree, vanishing entirely. Goodbye, Luna. May the day come when humans and dragonfolk join hands once more. Azure. Luna woke up to the sound of her own voice. She looked around, it was the same familiar forest. The sun had begun to set. Was that a dream? But the warmth in her chest told her that something had truly happened. No, I'm sure it was real. Luna stood up in a hurry and rushed home. Under the darkening sky, she passed through the forest and made her way quickly toward the village. Back at home, Aura was tending flowers by the window. Mom, listen, something strange happened in the forest. Luna, still excited, began to recount what had happened. Her encounter with Azure, the hidden truth of the dragonfolk, and the fragment of the map of time. Aura listened quietly, nodding from time to time. If that's really true, Aura's eyes held a deep, distant thought. The next morning, Luna returned to the forest with her mother, Aura. They searched for the spot where she had met Azure the day before. But in the end, they couldn't find it. Only tall trees and the quiet whisper of the wind remained there. By now, she couldn't tell if it had been a dream or reality. But in her heart, she made a vow. Someday, she would uncover the truth about the dragonfolk and humanity. A month passed, and cherry blossoms were in full bloom across the village. That day, Luna's 15th birthday was just around the corner. Luna was checking the contents of her large travel bag. It was the day she would leave for the royal capital of Cobalt to study botany. "Do you have everything packed?" Aura asked gently from outside Luna's room. "Yes, I'm all set," Luna replied. "But I'm still a little nervous." "Of course," Aura said with a smile. "But I know you'll have a wonderful experience, Luna." At the port where cherry blossoms fluttered in the wind, a large ship lay docked. Holding her belongings, Luna stood facing Aura. "I'm off, Mom." Aura touched Luna's cheek and smiled tenderly. With a look of determination and anticipation, Luna turned toward the ship. A new life of learning in Cobalt and the promise of new encounters. Perhaps even answers about the truth behind the map of time. Luna hugged her mother and whispered, "Thank you, Mom." The wind rustled her hair, cherry blossoms swirled around her, and the ship set sail. She watched as Silica Village slowly faded into the distance. "I'm off." Luna whispered once more, softly, under her breath.